Hello, and welcome to today's webinar. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items. Located at the bottom of your Zoom window are the chat, Q&A, and closed caption icons. Please use the chat for general comments. Use Q&A to ask questions to today's panelists during the Q&A session. And finally, use the closed caption icon if you would like to activate closed captioning. This concludes today's housekeeping items. I will now hand things over to Maria.
Thank you for joining us. My name is Maria, and I'd like to review our agenda before we proceed. First, we'll start with a safety moment and share some news to know, introduce our team and share some details about the prize, review the program that you signed up for in greater detail, and then we will finish off with a Q&A with our panelists and some more details on how the winner will be contacted in our post-event survey. Here at PSC, we like to start every meeting with a safety moment. And today's topic will be substation safety. You're probably aware from the news that there have been some incidents at various substations around the country, including Washington. Our security command center, if you need to report any of the following activity, the number to report that is 1-844-473-4121. What kind of activity for you should be looking for if you see suspicious people or vehicles around a substation, abandoned vehicles in and around a substation, any suspicious objects left, damage to fences, gates, or equipment, people taking photos or video of the substation, or using drones or other remote control devices, or any transients camping around or near the substation. PSC would really like to know, and we would thank you for reporting any suspicious activity that you see. Next slide. And remember, if you see something, say something. Contact your local police department if you see any of the following activity: someone cutting or climbing the substation fence or gates, trespass, including transients, off-road vehicles, etc., illegal dumping, including abandoned vehicles, theft of materials or equipment, vandalism, which includes malicious damage, tagging, or illegal shooting or hunting. So sharing some news to know, our website, psc.com, is now offered in multiple languages. And those languages offered are listed here. Thank you. And I'll start with myself. I am Maria Dozman. I'm an outreach manager. And Bill?
Hi, I'm Bill Richardson. I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Sales for Rainforest Automation, and I'm going to guide you through the EMU2.
My name is Elisa Filoni, and I will be talking about any troubleshootings that you're having with the device.
My name is Holly Mulvannon, and I have been with Puget Sound Energy a little over 11 years, 7 of those as a program manager, and I currently oversee the home energy display pilot.
Good morning. My name is Emily Rigg, and I am a program coordinator for our Energy Advisor team, and I will be going through what we can offer you as the Energy Advisors.
Your prize: one lucky attendee will win a $100 gift card to the Home Depot. More details will be shared later on in the presentation.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. And hopefully you're here to hear about the EMU2 and all the things that go with it, and not just for the prize. But I hope one of you gets a and enjoys that prize. First slide, please. All right, the EMU2. So all of you should have one of these units. That's why we invited you here, because you bought one online. It's a energy monitoring unit. That's EMU, what EMU stands for. And it works by talking directly to your PSE meter. The meter has 2 radios in it. One radio, it talks back to the utility so that PSE can read your meter remotely, and they get those readings about every 15 minutes. But the EMU2 is talking to a much lower power radio called a Zigbee radio, and it's getting readings from your meter every 8 seconds. So it gets updated very quickly. And that the advantage of that is it's able to show you what happens right away in real time. So you can think of it like a speedometer for your home, or a Fitbit for your home, if you will. You get to see your power usage as you're using it, and it allows you to make changes and see the results of those changes as they happen. It doesn't connect to the internet, and there's no app or anything. A lot of people have asked about that. We do have another product that does that, but it's not currently approved for use with PSE customers yet. So we want to get through this trial first, and then we would look at adding more complicated devices. If we can go to the next slide. Okay, so I'm just going to run through a few of the screens. You can change the screens by pushing the up and down buttons, and it'll go up and down these chain of screens. The first one that comes up when you power up the unit is the time and date, and that time and date comes from the meter. So you can see the official network time. The next one we call the meter reading screen. And normally you'll just see a number with kilowatt hours after it, and that is the total number of kilowatt hours that have been recorded by your meter up until that point. And it keeps accumulating. If you have a net meter and you have solar, for instance, and power is going in both directions, then you'll see the words from grid and to grid that'll show you what we call 2 buckets. So there's the bucket for power coming from the grid to your home, and the export power when you have surplus that goes back to the grid. And both of those, again, are cumulative numbers. So most of you will only see the from grid number, and it won't have a label. It'll just be the one number. The next one I think is the most useful screen. We call our current usage screen. So this is showing you the instantaneous power. So that is the kilowatts. So the difference between a kilowatt hour and a kilowatt is a rate, like miles per hour, whereas kilowatt hours is a total usage over time. So like the miles traveled when you're traveling at a certain speed, right? So the watts is the speed. Now it also shows the price, if the price is in your device, and some people have had some issues getting the price in, and the price that's shown is based on what's entered. We use an average because I know you have a 2-stage pricing plan, and the EMU2 doesn't handle that without it being put into the meter, and it's not in the meter. So we just put in an average, which is around 10 cents, I think. And that can be downloaded by PSE into your device. Or you can also enter it manually if you want. So that will affect the price there, but the kilowatts on the bottom is straight from the meter. Let's go to the next slide. There we go. Okay, so these are more complicated screens, but they give you more interesting insights. So these are all screens that accumulate the readings and show you use over time. My favorite one is the yesterday and today screen, which is the one at the top there. And each of the bars shown in those graphs, it represents an hour of usage, right? So it shows the number of kilowatt hours used at that usage. And to give you the scale, there's a little number on the line there, and that is the value of the highest peak on both graphs. So that kind of gives you a scale for what those graphs are. And this is really handy so that you can look at today, because today will always be in progress until midnight, and then look back at yesterday and compare. It's also good to see, you can instantly see whether there's been high peaks for the day or the day before. And right away, I often use this screen when I've been away from the house for a while, come back just to see if anything happened while I was away. Gives you a quick view of what's happened over the last, almost 40, up to 48 hours. The next screens, the total to date screen is kind of like a stopwatch. So you can stop and start the accumulation, and it will just continue to accumulate until you stop. Again, we could trigger it on a month, but everybody has a different billing date. And without knowing the individual billing dates, we can't automatically do that. It is possible, again, to put that into the meter, but that's not done at this time. So you have to do it manually. So when you get the device, it will just start from where you're going. But it's really handy for you to start it, say it's on your billing date, and then you can see the accumulation during your billing period. And the way you reset it is you just press the top while you're on the screen that says since whatever the date is, you hold the top button for 5 seconds, and that will restart it. And what it does is take whatever is on the screen, and it will put that in the previous total screen, and that will show you the interval. So at the end of your billing period or the end of the month, you can reset it again, and then the previous total screen will show you the previous month, all the totals for the previous month, and then the current one will start running. So it's kind of like splits on a stopwatch, if you will. Okay, let's go to the next screen. There we go. Okay, so the other thing, this is my the favorite feature of the device, is what we call the Stoplight LEDs. So these are arranged in stoplight order, and we specifically did that rather than having one light to change colors, because people who are colorblind can't see the change in color, and our CTO is colorblind. So, but everybody knows the order is stoplights, right? They know the red's at the top, green's at the bottom, so you can't make a mistake. The yellow line is when you're on baseline, and the baseline out of the factory is set at 500 watts, right? And so if you're below 500 watts, the green light will come on. And if you're 5 times higher than the baseline, so that would be 2.5 kilowatts, the red light comes on. And this is a good way, a quick way for you to just look at the device. You can see it from all the way across the room and just see which light is on, so you know whether you're using a lot or a little. I used to like to have it when I had it in the kitchen. It was right by the stairs. Before I went up to bed, I'd look across the room and make sure the green light was on. That meant I hadn't left anything on downstairs, right? So it's very handy. Now, if you want to change the setting for the baseline, because some people, our CEO keeps his at 100 watts. So basically his entire house has to be below one old-fashioned light bulb or he's not happy. That you basically, what you do is you turn things on and off in the house until the current usage screen shows the value in kilowatts that you want. And then you just hold the top button for 5 seconds, and that will set the baseline for that amount. So, and in my case, my house is a lot worse. I set it for 1 kilowatt, and once I get a kilowatt being consumed, I push the top button, and there it is. And now it's set at that value. Next slide, please. Okay. Now you'll also have access to a portal for this pilot, which gives you more information about the EMU2. And there is an online user manual, which you can access. If you look at the top right corner of the portal, you just click on that and it will walk you through all the features of the EMU2 and tell you about all the screens in detail. So it's a good place to go if you want to find out more about the device. You need to log on, but it's pretty easy. The one thing I would caution you is whatever you choose for the username, you can't change it after that. So we have some people who've regretted the username they've used, and so they create another account. And you can do that if you want to. The link for it is right up there, psc.rainforestcloud.com, and that will get you there. You can create an account, log in, and I want to talk about there is the online user manual, but there's also tips and recommendations on things you can do to save energy that don't cost much. And you can scroll through there's lots of those. There is a community forum where you can post things as well. But my favorite part is the challenges. So there's right now, I think there's 14 or 15 challenges that are up there. We try to put a new one up every month or so. If you look at them, challenge number 2 is setting the baseline, which we just talked about on the previous slide. So we've already done challenge number 2. So if you do that, you can already check that off your list. And there is, if you look down in the lower right-hand corner of the home screen, there's kind of a leaderboard there. It tells you where you rank with all the other people who are logged into the portal, and you can see how you're doing going through the challenges compared to everybody else. So, and a lot of times in the challenge, we ask you to comment in the forum where you can say what what happened, what your readings were, and that sort of thing. But let's walk through a couple of those challenges now. So if you go to the next slide, challenge number 4 we call Power Hunter, and this is looking for high usage loads in your home, right? Things that use up a lot of power. And what you do is you go to the current usage screen and you look at the bottom line there. That's the kilowatts. That's what we're going to look for, is the change there. So what you can do is simply turn them on and off and see the difference, and that will show you how many kilowatts that particular load uses. The rule of thumb is to look for things that generate heat, because they use a lot of power. So your stovetop, which is interesting if you watch it for a while, because it will cycle on and off, and it looks kind of odd at first, but it doesn't stay on all the time. A space heater, same thing. When the thermostat clicks, it will shut off for a while and go into a fan cycle. Your clothes dryer also uses quite a bit of power. Hair dryers, toasters, kettles, and don't forget about your microwave. It's not on for very long, but when it is on, it uses a lot of power. So those are all things to check, and you can see how much power each of those uses, and maybe think twice about using for extended periods of time. On to the next one. So challenge number 5, we call it How Low Can You Go? And what we're looking for here is your always on load. So this is the load that never goes off. And this may affect what you set for your baseline. And again, you look at that bottom line of the current usage screen, and you try and make that reading as small as possible, and you try and switch everything off, and you'll find out there's still power being used, right? And it seems high, but you can switch things off. The thing you should know is that for every kilowatt that is always on, if you multiply by 877, that's how many dollars it costs you per year. So 1 kilowatt on all year long is $877 a year. So it pays to cut back on the power. Good rule of thumb there. So let's look at how do we go below, like get your always on level lower. Next slide, please. And that is challenge number 7, which is what we call the vampire hunt. So a vampire load is a load that seems to be turned off, but it's really still alive, and it's drawing power invisibly and costing you money. And those are things like standby mode. So a big thing there is things like your smart TV. You turn off the screen, only the screen goes off, everything else is still running in the background, and it uses an amazing amount of power. Computers, if you have, again, put them in standby mode, they're still running if you don't turn them completely off. Things with timers like coffee makers and things like that. Anything that uses an AC adapter, those little wall warts that plug in a wall, those all consume power, even if nothing's plugged into them. So an easy way to deal with that is to have them all plugged into a power strip, and then you just turn the power strip off and everything's turned off, right? So that helps manage those vampire loads. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so that's just a quick view through. You've looked at a few of the challenges and a little bit about how to use the EMA2. We'd like a little bit of information about what kind of major electrical loads that you have in your home. If you can click on whichever is appropriate for you in this poll, we would be very interested to find out. how are we doing on the poll? I don't see any results. So, okay, oh, there we go. So the results are coming up here. Wow. Okay, so almost half of you have air conditioning, which is pretty amazing. And almost 20% with electric water heaters, which is also interesting. Okay, and very few. So, you know, we're located up here in Vancouver, BC, and we have a lot of electric heat up here. So I'm surprised it's so low there, but that's good. That's great because electric heat uses a lot of power. So anyway, thank you very much. Really appreciate everybody's answers. And now I'm going to pass it on to Elisa.
Good morning, everyone. As I said before, my name is Elisa Filoni, and I'm a program implementer for PSE. I've been with PSE. This year will be 20 years, which is great. Next slide, please. So we have some common errors, but there's like 3 of them that are the major common errors. And so one of them is the device is just not connecting to the meter. The second one is it was connected, but now it's not connected. And the third one is pricing. So the first one, if it keeps searching for the meter, the only thing that you're going to be able to do is you're going to call. There's nothing you can do on your end. So you're going to have to email us at rainforest, HAN@psc.com, and let us know what seems to be the problem, your name, your address, and there's 2 of us that respond to this email, and it's usually really quickly. The second one is that it was connected and it's not connected. There could be a couple of things. Maybe you need to move closer to the meter. Maybe there's some obstruction, like there's no windows or there's cement walls, or it just doesn't work. Again, the only thing you can do with that is contact us at the Rainforest, HAN@psc.com, and we will respond right away. The third one is the pricing. The pricing, we kind of blended it because there's 2 tiers, and there was no way on this device that we were able to split the 2 tiers. So we decided on doing 10 cents a kilowatt hour for the program, and it has to be at that because this is a pilot program. Once the pilot program is over and we decide to maybe continue with this, then we'll decide, hopefully we'll be able to do both pricing. If you're having issues with pricing, you can set it yourself. Just read your manual and just make sure that you put 10 cents. If you cannot set it yourself, the email again is rainforest, HAN@psc.com. Now, any questions you have, it doesn't matter what it is, please send us an email to that email and we will respond with help. And if we don't know the answer, you know, we will contact Bill, and maybe Bill can answer that question. Go ahead to the next slide. So technical issues. If the device stops working, the thing that you'll have to do is reset it. Resetting the unit by removing the power cord from the wall for about 10 seconds. And then also make sure that the batteries are removed. They do run on battery, but to be able to get the backlight and the best performance is if the unit is plugged in, okay? The second issue, if there's no power to the unit, of course, plug it in, take out the batteries, do not run it on batteries, do not use rechargeable batteries, the voltage is too high. If the unit, works on batteries but not on AC, then that adapter is faulty and you'll need to contact us and we can help you with that issue. Another technical issue is range. So the meter in the device has to be the same as the Wi-Fi range. It's being affected by blockage or interference. It's best that there's a window, by where your device is going to be located. Okay, next slide. So why doesn't the cost match my PSC bill? Now, only the kilowatt charges are calculated and there are other charges on your bill you're not going to see. And the cost per kilowatt, which I said in the last slide, was that it's a blended average of tiers. So this just is an estimate, okay? Now, another question we get is, can I see my solar usage? You can, but it's not going to be as informative as your bill or other sources when you put your solar panel in. But there is, this says the net electricity delivered from the grid, and then the surplus power return to the grid. So you will get a really basic information. The next question is, what is a kilowatt hour versus kW? So kW is a rate like miles per hour on the speedometer, and the kWh is like miles on an odometer, as you can see from the picture. And then another question that we get asked is, why can I get the Eagle? And the Eagle is the more advanced than the one that we have right now. It'll stream meters to your phone. It's not available yet because this, as we stated before, this is a pilot program. And once the pilot program ends, then hopefully we can add more devices to the program if this goes well. Next slide. So these are the polling questions. Please answer. And hopefully it's number 4. The best thing to do is any questions, it doesn't matter how small or how minor you think the question is, just send us an email to the pscforesthan@psc.com and we will answer your questions no matter what it is. If we don't know, again, we'll find someone that will help. Oh, I like that, 64%, no problems. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you very much. I will pass it on to Holly.
Great. Thank you, Elisa. Now that you've learned how to best use and troubleshoot your HED device, what do you do with this information? Well, PSC has a few options if you want to lower your energy usage beyond behavioral changes and completing portal challenges. When I'm not managing the HED pilot, I am a program manager in our retail rebates programs. I want to highlight some of the offerings we have available to customers to help with investing in upgrading their homes and lowering their energy use. Before we get started, we have a quick poll to see what rebate programs everyone is aware of or has already participated in. So let's give that a bit of time. Results, drum roll, please. Great. That's interesting to know and good for us to see. Next slide. All right, so the first rebate program I'll be talking about is retail lighting. PSC offers instant discounts at participating retailers throughout our service territory. Some of the main stores are Battery Plus, Costco, Lowe's, the Home Depot, Walmart, and of course our online marketplace at psc.com/marketplace. Rebates are up to $10 for outdoor LED fixtures, up to $3 for indoor LED fixtures, $3 for patio style LED string lights, $2 for T8 LED shop lights, and $4 for T8 retrofit lamps. To qualify, you must be a PSC Electric customer shopping at one of our program's participating retailers, and you can only receive up to 6 rebates for each fixture type. Next slide, please. Another popular program at PSC is our Smart Thermostat Rebate Program. PSC provides rebates on select smart thermostats wherever sold, or instant rebates on our PSC Marketplace or Efficiency Boost Marketplace. Efficiency Boost is a program for higher rebates for low to moderate income customers. If you think you might qualify for this, go to psc.com/boost to learn more. For smart thermostats, the everyday rebate is $75 and the increased efficiency boost rebate is $175. This type of thermostat works best with centralized heating systems. They must be Wi-Fi enabled and controlled remotely via an app. They must also be Energy Star certified, and to qualify, your home must heat with a PSE fuel source. The limit is 1 rebate per household, and you cannot have received a smart thermostat rebate from PSE for the same address within the last 5 years. For line voltage connected thermostats, the everyday rebate is $75 and the increased efficiency boost rebate is $130. These types of thermostats work best with baseboard heat or other direct wired electric furnaces. To qualify, you must purchase from a list PSE's qualified products list, and the limit is 5 rebates per household. And similar to smart thermostats, you cannot have received 5 line voltage thermostat rebates from PSE for the same address in the last 5 years. Next slide. We also offer rebates on laundry appliances. For Energy Star front loading clothes washers, the everyday rebate is $75. And for manufactured home and efficiency boost customers, it's $125. In 2023, we've brought back the Energy Star certified clothes dryer rebate. The everyday rebate is $50, and for manufactured home and efficiency boost customers, it's $100. Commercial customers can participate in this program. They just need to be installing a residential laundry appliance. To access our qualified product lists or an application, go to psc.com/appliances. Next slide. PSC also has water heating rebates. For the electric hybrid heat pump water heater, say that 3 times fast, there is a $500 in-store instant coupon available at Lowe's and Home Depot. Go to psc.com/instant to access this coupon. If you are a manufactured home or efficiency boost customer, an additional $200 is available to you via a post-purchase application. And this program also has a midstream, which means that a contractor can give you an instant discount. For natural gas tankless water heaters, the everyday rebate is $250, and the manufactured home and efficiency boost rebate is $600. For natural gas storage water heaters, they must be Energy Star qualified, and the everyday rebate is $50, and the manufactured home and efficiency boost is $100. Go to psc.com/water heating to access our qualified products list and a post-purchase application. Next slide. And that's a quick summary of our retail rebates. Without any further ado, I will hand this presentation over to Emily, who's going to talk about additional rebate programs we encourage customers to take advantage of, and the Energy Advisor team.
Great. Thank you, Holly. So I'm Emily, and I'm here to talk about our great team of energy advisors here at PSE, who are experts in home energy efficiency, and we are available to you via phone and email. Next slide. So in addition to the EMU2, which helps you understand your home's real-time usage, we have additional services available to you to help you understand your usage on a larger scale. So this can be helpful when you're trying to identify areas where there are opportunities to reduce your usage and save. So the first tool we have is the home energy assessment, where you can take a survey about your home, and then based on that survey, we break down your usage into a pie chart based on usage type. So you can see in this example, the pink area, you can see that heating was found to be the largest energy user. At the top, you see the bar graph. So you can also monitor your monthly, daily, and even hourly usage in a bar graph form, and that would be through your online account at psc.com. So as you can see in the pie chart, so we do see that heating typically makes up about 40 to 50% of the home's usage. So a big part of our job is to help you, try to understand and reduce that heating load. So we provide, personalized energy saving tips based on your home situation, and PSE also offers rebates that we can help you through. So in addition to the rebates Holly just went over, I will go over the rebates that we specifically have for home upgrades that can reduce your home's heating. Next slide. So the most effective upgrade that we recommend first is insulation. Our insulation rebates are based on a variety of factors, so we do require that you work with one of our recommended contractors who are able to determine on-site if you qualify, and then they give you the rebate instantly to you off of your invoice. We also have space heating conversion rebates. So if you are currently heating primarily with an electric resistant heat, so like baseboard heaters or an electric furnace, and then you upgrade to a heat pump, then you could possibly receive a potential rebate for that new heat pump based on that conversion. And lastly, we have Windows rebates, and the rebate values for our window rebates vary based on the window type and then what you're upgrading to. So for more information on those, that would be psc.com/windows, and all of our rebates are available at psc.com/rebates. Next slide. Okay, we have one more polling question for you. So after learning about all of our rebates, we would like to know which rebate programs would you be interested in taking advantage of? Give that a couple of moments. Okay, great. Pretty across the board, and lighting is a great, fast, pretty cheap upgrade to make first. So that's awesome. Thank you, everyone. And I will pass it back to Maria.
All right, and here we are with some program resources for you. If you want more information, these are good websites to refer to if you'd like more information on the Rainforest automation tool, any common errors, further information on our rebates, and of course, the Energy Advisor hotline that Emily just referred to. And this was also put in the live chat. Thank you. Next slide, please. All right, we have a lot of great questions coming in. We are going to try to get to all of those questions in the time we have remaining. If we cannot get to your question in time, please know that we will email you the answer. All right, first up from Chris. We have a lot of techies in this region, and a few of us have various smart home automation systems in our homes. I would love to be able to use the data Rainforest collects, displays, or the meter itself to drive some automation. Do you have a public API on the roadmap, plans to integrate with any assistants like Alexa, Google?
So I can take that one. The answer is yes. We already have a product that does all of that, including an integration with Alexa and Google Assistant, and that is our Eagle product. But as I pointed out at the beginning, that product is not yet approved for use for PSE customers. So we want to get through this pilot before we expand the use of devices that connect to the meter. So, but you can go to our website and look at the Eagle. It's there, and it does all of those things that you want, right? So we look forward to expanding after the pilot's over, expanding the use of devices like this to do those kind of functions. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Next, Gary would like to know, does the device save, plot, or otherwise display usage patterns? What is the sampling rate of metrics calculated?
So yeah, the yesterday and today screen does have a plot of the hourly usage for today to this moment and for all of the previous day. And the granularity of data collection is every 8 seconds, it collects instantaneous kilowatts, and the kilowatt hours are sampled every 2 minutes. So that is much more granular than what PSE collects for billing purposes, which is every 15 minutes.
Thank you. Chris has a monitor but wants to know how to set it.
Well, hopefully we explained that in our presentation here about how to set the level of the baseline for demand and how to see the accumulation screens and how to set and reset those.
Lisa's asking, how do I figure out how many kilowatts per hour costs?
So the price is downloaded into the device either by PSE or you can do it manually. There's a menu to do that. Right now we're using an average of 10 cents per kilowatt hour, I believe. So a blended average of the two steps.
Mike is asking how to compute cost at different times of the day or night with variable rates, like when to charge my car or wash or dry, or if I'm using solar or heat pump.
So I don't know that if PSE has time varying rates, maybe.
We do not at this time.
No.
Yeah. So, but when PSE does do time varying rates, those can be programmed into the Eagle. And the very complex pricing plans can be programmed in. We currently do that in California.
Deepa would like, Deepa bought the device a year ago and would love to see how to use it better.
So my best advice there is sign up for the portal if you haven't already, and then click on the top right-hand corner where it says, more info about the EMO 2, and there's a really good interactive online manual that walks you through all the screens and tells you all the features. It's a good place to find out how to use everything. And then try some challenges. That's another good way to do it.
From Gary, my unit does not progress beyond searching for meters, even if I place it within 3 inches or 3 feet of an actual meter at my home.
Right.
So I'll respond to that. Gary, go ahead and send us an email to the PSC. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank of what the email is.
PSE.rain.
Rainforest.
HAN.
HAN at PSC.com. And we make sure you put your name, your address, and if you can give us the take a picture of the back of your device, we will walk you through connecting it again.
From George, I have had this device for a year. Helpful to see what devices consume how much power / energy. In a month, I learned enough. Energy consumption very steady. Can EMU2 connect to any smart meter? Say something about the proprietary network.
Okay, I can take this one. So the EMU2 can only connect to your smart meter. It's a security thing. We don't want you to be able to read your neighbor's meter. What happens is the meter gets loaded with the information about the device and then can only connect to that device. So if you have a device and you want to use it for another meter, again, contact PSE and Lisa will help you connect it to a different meter if you want to do that. But you have to do it through PSE.
From Jim, I have not been able to connect my display to my meter.
Same thing. Go ahead and send me an email the minute I get it with all your information, and we will see what we can do to connect you.
From William, I have purchased this device and I am uncertain how to work / read it properly.
Again, I would recommend sign up for the portal and go to the interactive user manual and walk through all the steps. There also is, if you want, there's a PDF that you can download to get a paper manual if you want as well. And that's also available through the portal. If you just go to troubleshoot, there's a troubleshoot page, and the first thing on there is to download the manual if you want to, and you can walk through the whole procedure.
Daniel, I own one of the monitor devices. I find it interesting, not terribly useful for managing usage. For instance, what timing information should I be looking at to shift use to off-peak hours?
Maybe you can take that one, Holly.
Yeah, right now PSC does not have time of use rates, so really usage is all that matters, not the time of day you're using it.
Yeah, I
The
think the
next-
biggest thing is looking for those vampires, right? Finding, and we do have we have a great challenge on finding out how much your TV really uses when you turn it off. So those kind of things.
The next question is from Marie. I haven't really benefited from this unit yet. It's plugged in, but don't know if it has the cost per unit or when it's in high usage or not. I think virtual event will be great. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Hopefully you're on the event and you're getting something out of it. The key there, I think, is look at the lights, right? Once you set up your threshold and look for times when that red light is on, that's a time when you've got a lot of stuff going, and it's a time to cut back and figure out, why you have so many things turned on.
The next question from Asfar, please share plans to integrate the EMU2 with home automation and monitoring solutions like smart things, etc.
Again, that would be the Eagle, so that we're all set for that. Once the pilot is done, we will be hopefully moving ahead with all those bells and whistles.
And I will say PSC doesn't have anything around other like apps within the home yet. That's something we were looking at piloting. And if we did that, we would use the Eagle probably when we were doing that pilot.
Good to know.
And from Steve, thanks for putting this on. It would be great if the device could be configured to automatically reset the monthly usage to sync with this PSE billing cycle so that it always shows how much electricity is being used leading up to a monthly bill, and then it resets to the next month's cycle.
Yes, I totally agree with you there. And the problem there is that every individual has a different billing cycle based on when their billing started. The EMU2 can only get that information if it's available in the meter, and it's not programmed into PSE meters. So, but we can do it with the Eagle because we can get information from other sources and have that programmed into our billing engine, which is available to the Eagle because it's got a lot more processing power. So, patience, and we will have all of that worked out hopefully when we start using the Eagle.
All right, from Joseph, mine has never connected. User guide.
Sorry about that, Joseph. Go ahead and email us at the rainforest, han@psc.com, and we'll help you. And then the user guide, Bill, they're able to get that by downloading it, or?
Yep. So there's a user guide, a PDF with the user guide. It's on. If you don't want to go on the portal, you can also go on on our website, and it's available there. If you go to the bottom of our homepage, there's a thing that says EMU2 support. You click on that, and there's a downloadable manual right there.
From Sung Kong, my unit does not show usage in terms of cost.
So you can go ahead and do that yourself, and you can put 10 cents or just send us an email to the email I just, the rainforest, han@psc.com, and I will go ahead and push it. Again, please put your information, your name, your address, and so forth.
Stuart is asking, my meter never could connect with my meter, and it still does not.
Go ahead and send us an email, Stuart, and we will definitely help you with that.
Asfar is asking, since the device is using Zigbee and can also be connected through USB, is there any integration with home automation or energy monitoring solutions like Samsung Smart Things, etc.? If not, is there a published programming interface to query the device?
So not the EMU2, but the Eagle. And if you want to get a head start, there is a published API for the Eagle on our website.
It looks like the question was asked twice. So I'm going to go to anonymous. 2 questions. Can you download your data? And can you integrate the display into other home automation applications?
Not with the EMU2, but you can with the Eagle.
Okay, and from
and by the way, just if you want to download your data, your historical data, you can get that from your My PSE account. Right? So that data is available.
Thanks, Bill.
Yes.
And then Kevin, can the unit use Zigbee repeaters to increase range?
Yes, it can. Zigbee repeaters are a bit pricey, and you have to make sure you don't unplug them, because once it's connected through the repeater to the meter, if you unplug the repeater, it really confuses the device, right? So yeah, if you set something up through the repeater, you need to keep that active.
From Alan, we have a heat pump and we're told not to change the thermostat, but instead set a constant temp. So no need for a smart thermostat. Is that correct?
I mean, it is good to set and leave it, but the benefit of smart thermostat is you're able to control your heating from your home. Kind of a funny story. My mom was watching my sister's house, and because they were gone skiing in Colorado, it kept turning the heat off on them. But my brother-in-law was able to fix that. Or even like you realize you're home, you're not home, or you're not gonna be home for a while, you can just adjust accordingly.
And from George, how often is the power sampled? I observe more than 15 seconds before a change occurs.
So it should be every 8 seconds. That's how often we ask for a reading. We don't always get it, but typically it's every 8 seconds. Yeah.
From Steve, when do you predict that the pilot phase will end?
So Holly, maybe you want to take that one.
So we're starting the evaluation process, and so it kind of depends on how the evaluation goes, but I think we're looking at the end of this year that the pilot will use the information, and then at the end of this year the pilot will either end or it will become a program and will continue on into 2024.
From Anonymous, will there be an upgrade to the Eagle program?
That's kind of dependent on the evaluation. If we move forward, then we'll probably, well, I don't believe we're making EMU2s anymore, correct, Bill?
Just in volume, but
Okay.
not some retail.
From Philip, will future product automatically apply cost per kilowatt? Can this include taxes so I know actual out of pocket versus specific kilowatt kW/watt?
Yes, it can. So in California, we have, like for PG&E, there's a dozen different plans, and you just have a drop-down list and you click on the one that you're using. And again, that's all with the Eagle, right? So, but we don't have that kind of flexibility with EMU2.
All right, from Susan, what is the difference between the Eagle and the EMU2?
So the EMU2 is strictly a display, and so basically it's reading the meter very frequently and displaying that information for you. And it does a little bit of analysis with the graphing of yesterday and today, but that's about it. So it's really just information coming straight from the meter to you in real time. The Eagle does a lot more. It sends all the data up to the cloud, and there's all kinds of analysis that's done, and we can do a lot more with the data. And you can get that information on a screen you already have, which is your phone, right? And it'll, or you can see it on the web portal as well. So it's just it's the next, the next step.
All right, that was all of our questions for this webinar. Thank you everyone for your great questions. Thank you for joining us. The winner of the gift card to Home Depot will be contacted tomorrow, March 3rd. You'll also be given a post-event survey. Please don't forget to take that. And visit psc.com/events to find us and find other helpful webinars to participate in, and Rainforest Automation contact information is provided for you below. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Any questions, please do not
Thank you.
hesitate. We're here for you.